I don't know how you look your constituents in the eye and know because the job they gave you an inside track to make more money. I think we should be changing the law that we have to, but we abide by at the federal level, that nobody in the Congress should be able to make money in the stock market while they're in the Congress.
Joe Biden is really pissed about what they did to him, them staging this coup, kicking him out, installing Kamala, and then she lost anyway after $1 billion was donated to that campaign. It's super embarrassing, but he's about to go in on this interview, and then we have a reaction after from Jesse Waters, and it's just so funny to see the way that he's acting and the way he's moving comparatively to how he was when he was in office and what he's done his whole career. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to RT News to ensure to YouTube that you're enjoying our videos so they'll continually show up in your feed, and then they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
One of the things I found most admirable about you, Mr. President, you came into the Senate in 1972. People didn't follow stock trades, and you could have, if you wanted to get wealthy. You could have gone in early on Google and Boeing and Microsoft and NVIDIA and Amazon. You could have been an early investor. You didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't own any stocks for that whole period of time. When nobody was looking, there was no stock act, nobody was checking you. Why?
I know we're not trying to give Biden a pass for doing the right thing in his whole career. This career politician has done so many corrupt things, has had his son do a bunch of corrupt dealings. He is definitely the big guy, allegedly, though. We don't want any litigation directed towards us. But it's like, come on. Yeah, he may not have done the things in the manner that a lot of people like Pelosi may have done, but he is not this, stand-up guy who never twisted anything, never did anything wrong in his life or in his career. Nobody believes that. Nobody's falling for that. Everyone thinks that he's corrupt. They literally called him the Biden crime family. Don't get out of here with that. Like, he's just bastion of morality. Like, no, wrong. But let's see what he has to say. Let's hear him out. See what his response is.
Look,
I'm a liar.
for 36 years, I was listed as the poorest man in the Senate. Not a joke. You know that listing they had?
I'm surprised they didn't say, that's not hyperbole. Because he says that in every single interview. No, see, he states something as a fact and goes, and that's not hyperbole, that's for real. Joe, I want to miss him. I'm going to miss him.
In Congress, not the Senate, House and Senate. Yeah. I never thought I was poor. I had a salary that a senator made. But, I don't know how you look your constituents in the eye and know because the job they gave you an inside track to make more money. I think we should be changing the law that we have to, but we abide by at the federal level, that nobody in the Congress should be able to make money in the stock market while they're in the Congress.
That's actually crazy to hear that coming from his mouth. And here's the thing. It's like, yeah, that means that's good. I'm not mad about it. I actually agree. Like, because you have the opportunity, just because there's some act in place to prevent you from doing something that you have the ability to do, what's going to stop you from doing it? Like, the law, how do we prove? I mean, I don't know, maybe there is a way to prove, but like, there's obviously some people still doing it. And he's even said, like, being in this position that he's in, it gives him the inside track to making more money. And a lot of people had that inside track. They had the ability to quintuple their income just because they're in a position of power that we put them in. That is so crazy when you think about it. And it's like, this is retribution. You attacked me, you destroyed me, you took me out of a position that I was in. You told me I couldn't run again, even though I won, even though I had the votes to be able to continue on my legacy, the failed legacy, but it was a legacy nonetheless. And yet you stole it from me. And you gave it to this incompetent person who I literally put her in this position only because, well, actually, he put her in this position because he knew she was black and a woman and all this stuff. He endorsed her. She would not have been the Democratic Party's first pick. But once the president of the United States, who you kicked out, endorses his vice president, his VP, and she would have been the one to look to anyway. What are you gonna do? And then we all saw how that campaign went. We're not going back. We're not going back. Okay, yeah, we are. We're going back to a Making America Great Again. Thank the Lord for it. But we have another video here with Jesse Waters going in on that interview and giving his thoughts. And it's so funny to see.
Biden doesn't care as much about being president. He cares more about getting revenge against the coup leaders. Joe just threw a hand grenade at Nancy Pelosi while she's stuck in a hospital bed in Germany.
I don't know how you look your constituents in the eye and know because the job they gave you an inside track to make more money. I think we should be changing the law that we have to, but we abide by at the federal level. That nobody in the Congress should be able to make money in the stock market while they're in the Congress.
Biden didn't want to ban Congress from insider trading during his entire 50-year career in D.C. But a month before he leaves, he gives Nancy a little gift. This isn't about stopping corruption. It's about getting retribution. We asked the White House if the president has called Nancy to check in on her after she broke her hip in Belgium. We haven't heard back. So if Nancy wants to get rich in the House, she might have to do it the old-fashioned way, peddling influence like the big guy.
Let them beef, Jesse. It ain't no thing. Let them beef. It's fine. It's so funny. There's a law to actually pass to stop that. Because like I said earlier, there's like no way to actually know if they're abiding by the law or act that is in place for them to not do insider trading when they have the access to do it. They're going to. And so if you just don't allow them to do it at all while they're in office, while they're in Congress, I think that's fair. Just to ensure that you are not screwing over the American people, because you are screwing over the American people. We put you in a position to make our country greater, to do things that benefit us. And while you're in that position, you decide to do things that only benefit you and get you to a place where we would all like to be and be able to experience the American dream. Be a politician and have all this information on the inside. We'd all utilize it, I'm sure. I mean, I would hope that I wouldn't, do something illegal. I would hope I wouldn't do it. I'd be too scared to get in trouble. Like, Anyways, but it's just like, I'm glad that Biden's saying this stuff now, but it's like, yeah, like Jesse was saying, it's 50 years in DC, and you never once wanted to do anything about it, but now you're saying this. And I mean, I don't even know if it's true what this guy's saying about Joe Biden not having any information or not doing anything in terms of stocks and trading and all that stuff. When in reality, I'm sure he has family members that he gave the information to, and then he benefited off that money if he didn't do it himself in his own name. We all know the Biden family is very corrupt. They've done a lot of sketchy things. Hunter was just pardoned for 11 years. That's interesting, since there's only a few things that are against him, and they're within a smaller amount of time, for things that he may or may not have done, by the way. That's what he was pardoned for. So that's very sketchy and concerning. But that being said, again, I'm very grateful that Biden saying this, because I think this is something that would be important to the American people. And maybe I don't know how much time it takes to get something like this passed, probably a while, so he probably wouldn't be capable of doing it, but maybe he should. Also, though, I'm sure the president also has this information as well, and so he could be just trying to get Trump for not being able to do it, even though I think it's illegal. So if it is illegal, nobody should be doing it anyway. But we know how people are. I don't trust people, man. People are capable of just some very, very, very vile things that are just wrong things. Like when the temptation is there, they give in sometimes, and it's very unfortunate that happens. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, share, comment your thoughts. I really want to know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.